This is our new 480Q firing system. It's a wired firing system. The firing system is designed to be expanded. You can start off with simply 120 Qs using a splitter box such as this. Every one of these boxes provide you with 120 Qs. An input and an output. So you got 4 outputs, so you can have 4 of the splitter boxes. That equals the 480 Qs. To run down on some of the features this system has, it's fully NFPA certified. You can have upwards of 24 volts. It has a removable BNC connected snake light, so you can see what you're doing in the dark. It has specially designed continuity checkers, so that when the system is actually on, you can actually see your status as you're firing through the Qs. As the LEDs start going out, that indicates the continuity is no longer there, so you fired it off, and so forth. This is the selectors for the Qs, and each Q slat has its own set of switches, so each Q is individually isolated from the next, so it's very, very safe. This system works fantastic with our powered box, which is also available. This power box has either 12 or 24 volt selection. We're going to go ahead and just show you how to hook this up. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take the powered cable, going to hook it in, going to turn on your power source. We'll go to 24 volts. Powering it on. It's currently on test. And the next step would be you would take your cable and hook it up. And we'll go ahead and do a quick show for you on that. Okay, I went ahead and I hooked up the cable from the output of the main into the splitter box, into the input, and then I'm going to take our other DB25 cable, which is hooked to a 10Q slat, and I'm going to snap it into the AQ. Now, these are the slats. This is just simply an ODA compatible slat. This is a real ODA, and then these are some variations of the ODA slat. So it's very versatile. If you don't want to spend the money on the ODA, you can get the exact same thing in some other manufacturers. We also carry the ODAs. One thing to remember is if you're going to use a series slat and not use it in series, you're going to have to get a shunt, and all the shunt does is it turns the series slat into a parallel slat. You hook in there, and then your slat will fire. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take this single slat, I'm going to hook up some E-matches to it, and we'll show you what the continuity would look like. Okay, as you can see, I've got it hooked into the Qs 1, 2, and 3. So if you go over to the system, I'm going to select test. I'm going to turn the key on, and you can see if the first 3 LEDs are lit. Now, if you forget to switch this thing down R mode and you try to fire it, or somebody ends up accidentally touching this before you're ready, nothing will happen because it's in safe mode. Okay. In order for those to fire, you're going to not only have to have the key on, but you're going to have to switch it back down to arm. Okay. Now if you were to fire it, it would go off. There's also an error indication. If you were to fire Q and there's something in it, obviously nothing can go on. But if you go to test and you fire the Q and there's nothing in it, you'll see the little red light here comes on, indicating trouble. Okay. So we're ready to fire these things off. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of distance here, and we'll shoot those 3 off, and then we'll go into series and show you what that is. Okay, I went ahead and I ran that cable out. It's actually a 100-foot cable, and then from the main to the splitter there is 100 feet. So right now we're at 200 feet. You can go further, but that's the cable I had around. So in order to fire this, we know of course that we're in the first slat on the first splitter. So we'd be using these, and of course you can tell which ones are good because it's got the red lights on. If for some reason you change the slat, of course the lights would go off. So you go to the correct slat, you're ready to fire, you're going to flip the switch down to arm. At this point we're hot, and you would just fire one off, and these are momentary switches, so you just kind of hold it on, release it, and it would fire. Okay, I'm going to move the camera so you can see the hopefully it gets a little clear with some time, and I'll fire these things off. It looks like that's going to be as clear as it'll go. 3, 2, 1, firing 1, firing 2, firing 3. Okay, we're going to go back down, and now we're going to go ahead and hook this guy down into a series. Okay, we're going to hook up our slats and have E-matches hooked in, and I just wanted to show you something real quick. I wanted to show you the difference between, say, single or series, parallel or series shooting. If you wanted to hook the E-matches up in series mode, all you're going to do is take one end of the E-match, connect it to another, the one in the middle, then you take that one and connect it to a third, and then that third goes into the other end of the firing system here at the slat. This is, we got 3 of these hooked up in series, and then the cues are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Q10 I've got hooked up. I want to show you something a little neat. We're going to spice up this a little bit more and connect it with one of our programmable sequencers, so you can do a chase scene if you want. So whatever you do with the first slat, and if you want to run these things in series, you're going to have to do the same with the second. So we've got one hooked up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our sequencer is going to be hooked into Q10. So I'm going to hook this up, and we'll turn the machine on and show you what it does. Okay, so here we are. As you can see, it's hooked into this one right here, and then it's hooked into the same line, so it's in series into this one, and then Q10 I've got it wired into our waterproof sequencer here. And I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm going to turn this on. You might not be able to see with the glare, but it does a continuity, and the continuity is saying we are good. So what we're going to do now is take this guy back, and we're going to fire it off. Okay, so here we are back at the switch box. I just wanted to show you what the continuity lights were saying. And as you can tell, we've got good on 1 through 5, and then 10, and that 10th would be the sequencer that's hooked up. We're going to flip this thing over to fire. We're hot, the key is on. I'm going to set the camera up so you can see the video of the matches going. And the sequencer is going to be a chase. It's going to start slow, it goes faster and faster and faster until almost instant. So the first one, we're going to have E-matches on the both first cues fire. In 3, 2, 1, firing. Going to 2, going to 3, going to 4, going to 5. Okay, that also, if you notice the last one, there were multiple E-matches in series. And then we're going to do 10, which is of course the sequencer. And that would be the sequencer function. So it's a pretty versatile little system. And you can keep expanding this. We also have a 32Q sequencer that you can add to this if you want. Price is very reasonable, and we're going to be mass producing these very quickly, and we're ready for pre-sale.